Hey guys, it's Rodimus Primal. I'm back with another video, and today we've got something big when it comes down to the MCU. News that I don't know if everybody is going to be happy about when it comes down to a specific friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So I've got a little bit to talk about, so sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. Okay, so I am looking at the news that dropped. It actually hit the internet last night, and everybody has been talking about it. But I was obviously very occupied with certain things. If you saw my video on my main channel, you'll understand why, and why I'm talking about this now. But it seems that Spider-Man is exiting the MCU, and it has to do with money. Disney and Sony are not reaching an agreement that is making anybody happy. From what I understand, and looking at the different information that's out there, this is something that I read, was that, hearing a lot to clarify, this is Disney's fault. Now, this is not my opinion. I'm just reading what the news that it's out there. I'm not really sure on what side to take, but I'll get to what I think about it in a little bit. This person is saying that it's Disney's fault because it's not Sony's, that Disney owns Marvel Studios, which is true. Sony actually covered the production costs of all of Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies, not Disney. The contract that Sony and Disney had been working was Sony gets 90% of the earnings for the new Spider-Man movies, since they still own the copyright to the character, in exchange for Disney's, and thus Marvel's, use of the character in the MCU, and an unofficial Disney Marvel merchandise, which Disney gets full profit from. So if they sell an action figure for Spider-Man, Disney, Marvel gets the profit. Even if it's for the movie, like if they make a toy for, Spider-Man Homecoming or Spider-Man Far From Home, Disney gets all of the profit from that. But Sony only gets the profit from the movie itself. So Sony was getting 90% of the profit, Disney was getting 10%, and Disney said, that's not enough. We want it all. We want like a 50-50 take on the spoils. And it was a 50-50 take on production costs. I think that was the take on this. And I want to find out the actual news, as people are saying this. Now, this is what Sony is saying. Sony says, much of today's news about Spider-Man has been mischaracterized. Recent discussions about Kevin Feige's involvement in the franchise. We are disappointed, but respect Disney's decision not to have him continue as a lead producer of our next live-action Spider-Man film. We hope this might change in the future, but understand that many new responsibilities that Disney has given him, including all the newly added Marvel properties, hint, X-Men and Fantastic Four, do not allow him time to work on an IP they do not own. Kevin is terrific. We are grateful for his help and guidance and appreciate the path he has helped put us on, which we will continue. So what they're saying is, and of course some people are on the negative side of it, is that they're sitting there saying, like, look, we know we're going to be continuing the direction that Spider-Man was going to be taking after Spider-Man Far From Home. If you're telling us that it's not going to be part of the MCU because you don't get all the money, then we're not going to do anything about it. They're just going to continue on the path. I don't necessarily fully agree with that. I'm kind of like on the fence with it. So from what it sounds like is that Disney wants more money. I'm kind of like, again, I'm on the fence with it, because Disney is saying, like, look, we're the ones who, we own all of Marvel's characters outside of the movies. But this also might mean that, well, Spider-Man in general might come to an end in the comic books, because this is how Marvel operates. They made the X-Men almost next to nothing. They disbanded the Fantastic Four, all because 20th Century Fox wouldn't give them up, and they screwed over X-Men Dark Phoenix, which was already a failing thing to begin with. But you can kind of see Disney is not really good about this. This is kind of they're just we demand you give us more money. Period. It's this is the only way that we make money is by taking the profits of the actual film. And they're like, no. Oh, we take half of the profits because we already got the merchandise. Like, it's kind of crazy, you know? It really is kind of crazy when you think about it. So I can understand where, you know, where Spider-Man and, you know, with what Kevin Feige would want, what Disney would want, and I kind of understand where Sony is like, hey, this is not right. But it's kind of hard to really take a side here because clearly people are like, if he's not part of the MCU, I'm not going to watch. I didn't like the what ended up happening in the end of Far From Home during the end, you know, the mid-credit scene. That was something that kind of irked me, where I'm just like, whatever. But if Spider-Man is exiting the MCU, I was already like on thin ice with the MCU to begin with, you know, and so now again, if there is a superhero movie that I want to see, I'm just gonna go see it. If I don't care, you know, like I don't care that it has to intermingle now with continuity because they're not going out of their way to respect source material. Again, something that has been a theme in my past videos has been source material, and Spider-Man in the MCU has not really followed source material. Almost every single Spider-Man movie has had something that has gone wrong when it comes down to source material. Sam Raimi's films had Spider-Man shooting webs out of his skin instead of developing actual web shooters. The Andrew Garfield films, you know, changed the costume up, changed around the villains even more, and, you know, decided to do things that just did not make sense in my eyes. And they didn't even catch Uncle Ben's killer. And then in the MCU, Uncle Ben almost doesn't exist at all. There is no with great power comes great responsibility. Instead, it's Spider-Man becomes Spider Iron Man because Iron Man is gone now. So, you know, Spider-Man's supposed to take over as Iron Man. And, well, now we know that the MCU is not going to have Spider-Man as part of it. I wonder who is going to be the lead in the MCU. Someone I'm not going to look forward to seeing any of their movies. I don't know. But wonder what you guys think. What side do you fall on? What side of the fence are you, you know, sitting there saying like, no, this is all on Sony, or no, this is all on Disney? Where do you fall on that camp? Let me know in the comments. You know, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to thumbs up this video and check out my other videos as well. I've got more content coming down the pipeline. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.